This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 4. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 4, a record 6.6 million new unemployment claims were filed last week in the U.S. as the country deals with the coronavirus pandemic. The issues the state is working on to try to help Floridians who have applied or need to. Plus, what you need to know about Florida's statewide stay-at-home order that goes into effect at midnight. And breaking right now, at any moment, Volusia County leaders are expected to give an update on their fight against the coronavirus and whether the beaches will stay open or be closed. Expecting some big news here, Vanessa. In the last 15 minutes, we found out the governor also expected to give an update on the fight against the coronavirus. We'll bring that to you live. Again, expected at 4:30. Again, we're expecting Volusia County in just a matter of moments. Good afternoon. I'm Greg Wormuth with the latest on coronavirus.
And I'm Vanessa Eccles. State officials say 227,000 people, by the way, filed for unemployment in Florida last week, but folks are still having problems applying for benefits. We'll have that story. Right now, we want to give you a live look at the Volusia County Emergency Operations Center. As Greg mentioned, officials will soon give an update on the coronavirus concerns there, and they are expected to talk about the beaches as well. We will bring you that news conference live when it starts here on Eyewitness News at 4. Well, today, state health officials announced more than 200 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the state total to more than 8,000. 27 new deaths were also announced, 2 from Lake County. Orange, Osceola, and Flagler counties each had 1. Orange County continues to have the most cases here in Central Florida. You can see the rest of the numbers on your screen right now. Florida also has more than 69,000 negative tests. Now, over the next 2.5 hours, you'll hear new stories on the impact the coronavirus is having on our community from our team of reporters spread out across Central Florida. We begin with Channel 9's Shannon Butler, who has been looking into Florida's unemployment numbers that we mentioned. And Shannon, the outlook for the next 30 days is not good at all.
It isn't, Vanessa. Just in the last half hour, we got a letter from Representative Stephanie Murphy sent to the governor asking him to use some federal funds that they laid out specifically for this. We are taking a look at her letter and that information, but this just coming in. In the meantime, the governor had said yesterday that he was getting an update from the Department of Economic Opportunities and what their ability is to get those people filed for unemployment and to get those checks out every week. We have not learned yet what he has learned, just as those sobering numbers from last week are now released. 20 million jobs could be lost in just the next 30 days. That would mean a 15% unemployment rate. Double digits we haven't seen in a very long time. The Department of Economic Opportunities website still crashes, and those that have filed aren't sure when they'll see the money. Governor Ron DeSantis' daily state updates do little to ease the fears or give any help to those waiting on unemployment.
My direction has been don't spare any expense, hire who we need to hire in order to be able to get this done, because it's important for folks.
The governor said he would get an update last night about where the Department of Economic Opportunity actually is with hiring those 100 new employees, the contractors, and anyone else to process those claims. Democrats today slamming the health and economic response from the governor.
It feels that the state of Florida has been walking 2 steps behind where we need to actually be in order to really confront and take something on.
And there are still questions about what not being able to file would mean for getting that stimulus money. DeSantis again saying they're working on it. Now, in that letter by Stephanie Murphy, it does say that that money could be used if the state is above a 10% unemployment claim rate. We are above that now. It says that there are some short-term abilities for unemployment. She is asking the governor to put that money into effect now. We will, of course, hear much more of what he has to say at 4:30, and at 6 o'clock, I'll have much more on what the Democrats are saying.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Again, we'll have that news conference for you live when Ron DeSantis takes the podium to talk about these latest numbers and what's happening here in Florida. Meantime, moments ago, the Dow closed more than 400 points up, despite the fact that a record-breaking number of people, as Shannon mentioned, applied for unemployment benefits, not just in Florida, but across the country. The Labor Department says unemployment claims have doubled in the last week to more than 6.6 million. In New York, which right now is the epicenter of the pandemic, calls to the Department of Labor have increased 16,000%. Economists say as the number of coronavirus cases climbs, so will jobless claims.
We know that the illness and the contagion will get worse. We also know that the fatalities will get worse, but there's also fatalities in the economy.
To put these new unemployment numbers into some perspective, just a few months ago, the unemployment rate in the U.S. was near a 50-year low, and now we're setting records. The statewide stay-at-home order begins tonight after midnight for Orange and Osceola counties. Let's talk about that coming up. But first, let's go to Volusia County and their Emergency Operations Center.
Our Public Health Department and many other agencies are working collaboratively together and taking actions to best protect you and your loved ones. Today, you will hear from Volusia County Chair Ed Kelly, County Manager George Rectenwald, physicians from Halifax Health and Advent Health, as well as Sheriff Chitwood. We are depending on each of you to take personal.
All right, we are having some audio issues. We're going to continue to monitor this. Again, you know that there's a number of speakers right now. This is Public Information Officer kind of setting the table for what we anticipate there in Volusia County. I can tell you that Volusia County right now suffering from 100 different people that have come down with the coronavirus. And again, our team will let us know when the audio is cleared up. 98 residents in Volusia County, 2 non-residents. Demographics of the cases, age 17 to 89, men 48 to 52. 48 are the one in terms of the men leading the way there. In terms of deaths, there has been 1 death in Volusia County. There's a possibility that the announcement that it's happening shortly is going to be an announcement to close the beaches. We'll let you know. All right, the statewide stay-at-home order, which I mentioned earlier, begins tonight after midnight for Orange and Osceola County residents. You've already been under this order for a week now, but for the rest of Central Florida, this will be new. Channel 9's Lauren Seabrook joins me now live in the studio to go over what you need to know. And Lauren, this order goes through the next 30 days.
Right, Greg, and during that time, you will still be able to go to the grocery store, to pick up takeout food, to go to the bank, and many other places that are considered essential, but you won't be able to do things like go to the movie theater, bowling, shopping at retail stores, or again, gathering in groups. The goal is to keep everyone at home as much as possible. One thing you can do, though, is go out to get tested for COVID-19. And again today, the drive-through site at the Orange County Convention Center shut down extremely early because it hit its limit. Both yesterday and today, the site opened at 9 a.m. and had to close just a little after 11 a.m. FEMA only allows the site to administer 250 tests a day because we still have limited access to the supplies. Orange County is not connected to this site, so county leaders can't do anything to get more tests there. It's a FEMA site run by the National Guard. There's a lot more testing going on at the sister drive-through site in South Florida, but a hospital is partnering with that site to give out more tests.
Yesterday, we had about 100 cars lined up at 8 a.m. Today, we had 189 lined up at 8 a.m. My first report of vehicles lined up to come into the testing site was 6 a.m. So we'd like to encourage people to get here early.
And remember, if you go, there's no bathrooms there on site. Right now, they have enough tests to go about 5 more days with, again, 250 tests a day. But when that runs out, they don't yet know what will happen with the site. They have ordered more, but aren't yet sure if they will get it. The youngest person to come through that site today was just 4 years old. Vanessa?
All right, it's me back to talk about that press conference happening right now in Volusia County. We've got our signal cleared up. Let's take a look and listen right now. Some color bars up there. And now, here we go. Let's listen in.
Assistance to qualified individuals and families. And the state is allowing us to use a portion of its state housing initiatives partnership program funds to help applicants. People need to meet income eligibility requirements. For more information, call 386-239-7757. This information will be posted online as well. For those who depend on Votran for transportation, bus service will continue to run. Additionally, effective immediately, all fares have been waived. We've implemented strict cleaning procedures on both our buses and transfer plazas, but it's imperative to remember that if you're not feeling well, you should refrain from riding the bus. You should stay home. We're also addressing concerns related to the traveling public. Last week, the governor issued 2 executive orders requiring screening, isolation, and quarantine of individuals whose point of departure originated outside the state of Florida in an area with substantial community spread. The Florida Department of Health, with assistance from Florida Department of Transportation, was tasked with implementing the order and directing airports. The Florida Department of Health implemented testing at larger airports, and the Daytona Beach International Airport was advised they would be notified when screening would begin at their site. However, county leadership decided to take a proactive approach rather than wait for the implementation by the state. The day after the governor's order was issued, staff collaborated with the Florida Department of Health and area medical professionals and began planning the implementation of a screening on a local level. I'm proud to say by Sunday, the airport had implemented a screening process for all deplaning passengers. Currently, screening of passengers in all other Florida airports is only being applied to direct flights from areas with substantial community spread, as identified by the governor. Daytona Airport is the only airport in the state to implement screening of all flights, direct and non-direct. We've reached out to other surrounding airports, such as the Sanford Orlando Airport, who have not yet had screening implemented by the FDOH or FDOT, to inquire if and when they plan to initiate screening on their own. Many of our residents in Volusia County use that airport as well. On Tuesday afternoon, the governor issued Executive Order 2020-91 related to essential services and activities. The county immediately began reviewing the 34-page document to determine what changes needed to be implemented. In short, the Safer Home Order emphasizes the same messaging we've been pushing all along. If you can stay at home, stay at home. And while you're home, it's okay to fire up your grill, but we don't want you to start some campfires or burning old trash because it's very dry out. In fact, Volusia County Fire Rescue, on direction from myself, has issued an outdoor burn ban that takes effect at 12:01 a.m. This applies to the county's unincorporated areas, Oak Hill, Lake Helen, and Pearson as well. Under the burn ban, all outdoor burning, unless authorized by the Florida Forest Service, is prohibited. Additionally, we continue to stress, limit your travel and exposure to others. Essential services will remain open, which means you can continue to buy groceries and necessary items. Beginning tomorrow, Volusia County government offices will be closed to the public except by appointment. We've put efforts in place to continue providing services remotely when possible. Vital public services will continue without interruption, including garbage and recycling for the unincorporated Volusia County. All public safety functions, the branch jail, correctional facility continues to operate with restricted visitation. Most county-operated parks, boat ramps, and trails remain open as long as people abide by social distancing guidelines. The Tomoka Farms Road landfill and the West Volusia transfer station will be open for normal business, but are accepting credit card payments only at this time. Our Ocean Center has been transformed. Its exhibit hall has been made into a medical supply distribution site. These supplies are for specific agencies, not the general public. And there is a process in place for requesting agencies to gain these supplies. Public participation at the upcoming County Council meeting Tuesday, April 7th will now be submitted virtually. Details will be available tomorrow under the government tab of volusia.org. As always, live video and audio are available for the meeting, but in-person attendance will not be permitted. Now for the beaches. In order to avoid sending an inconsistent or confusing message to potential visitors and citizens, we are taking the step to close our beaches as an additional effort to fight the potential surge in cases that's coming our way. Effective at midnight tonight, in coordination with the governor's order, all Volusia County beaches will be closed. All county off-beach parking lots will be closed. All vehicular and pedestrian beach approaches will be closed. All county-owned walkovers will be closed. All county beachside coastal parks and off-beach parking areas will be closed. We will fly the double red flag indicating that the water is closed to the public. Lifeguard towers will not be staffed. The beach is closed. And beach safety will be enforcing these rules. It's our goal to educate violators, and we have every expectation that they'll comply. We really need your help. However, if offenders fail to comply or we see repeat violators, they will be issued a second-degree misdemeanor, which comes with a $500 fine. As a country, and even worldwide, we're dealing with something we've never faced before. When you turn on the news, there's a lot of information that just isn't good. But I think it's important to remember there is still a lot of good out there. We're beginning to hear stories of our community coming together, neighbors checking in on each other, businesses stepping up. And for all of those efforts, we thank you. Right now, it's hard not to focus on the negative, but it's those positive actions that are going to get us through. And again, I thank everybody for the cooperation. I've seen amazing cooperation between the county, the city, and other agencies, and I'm very proud of the efforts.
You've been listening to Volusia County officials there with the news that we really have been anticipating for the last week or so, announcing that all of the beaches in Volusia County will be closed. That will start at midnight, and also mentioning beach access when he talked about parking lots and walkways, everything there with the beaches closed. Also, beach safety will be enforcing this, and repeat violators or those who don't comply with the rules will be facing a second-degree misdemeanor and a $500 fine. But again, the big news there from that news conference from Volusia County, all the beaches in the county now will be closing at midnight and closed indefinitely. Greg?
Such big news. We anticipated that happening. No mixed messages here. Get off the beach. All right. While the coronavirus pandemic has forced many businesses to close and people to lose their jobs, others have adapted. Today, Channel 9's Mert Price talked to the Leesburg Partnership about how it's helped some mom-and-pop businesses stay afloat during these tough times. And he went to one of the businesses that has totally changed in order to try and survive.
Normally, the Leesburg Partnership would be working on the Bike Fest. Well, since it was canceled, the organization has now shifted its focus to helping small businesses keep their doors open.
This is a total, it's a total shock to us. We never envisioned this.
Here at the Kitchen Cafe and Cooking School in downtown Leesburg, the staff used to serve breakfast and lunch and then hold cooking classes at night. Well, because of the coronavirus outbreak, the owner, Z. Carter, was forced to change. The cafe is now offering
takeout, curb service, and so that's one of the things that we're doing.
They've also added
prefix meals that every way, comfort food. So we've added more of that to the menu. And we've also added a general store.
This is one of the many restaurants the Leesburg Partnership helped in downtown transition into a curbside pickup business.
We took out our yellow cones. We called the city and we asked for a couple parking spaces, and we just kind of set it up for them. We closed it where all you have to do is pull up, give them a call, say I'm out here, can you bring out my food?
Hi guys. Thank you. You're welcome.
All of our small businesses are out there and they're doing everything they can just to stay open.
As for Carter, she's grateful for the blueprint and help she received setting up the curbside delivery services. Without it, she admits,
we wouldn't have business. We would be closed. We would definitely be closed.
Leesburg Partnership officials say they have been working with businesses all over the city to hammer out plans in order to stay afloat. They believe that the plans they put in place will help business owners for now and for weeks to come until things go back to normal. Mert Price, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.